Chase the Express. Here begins the countdown to the annihilation of Europe. The Blue Harvest, a military train developed by NATO, has been hijacked by terrorists. Military bodyguard Jack Morton, a great name dude, having narrowly escaped death in the terrorist attack, sneaks inside the Blue Harvest in a solo bid to take back control of the train. Will you be able to rescue the hostages, stop the train, and save Europe from a nuclear crisis? Released for the PlayStation 1 in 2000, I think it was. It's a Resident Evil clone with practically no horror. I don't know what the deal is, because this is like after Metal Gear Solid, so it's like some sort of Metal Gear Solid style game, but in the style of Resident Evil, without any horror. Weird choices to mush together, action and sluggish tank controls. But okay, sure, why not? Maybe the story and the plot are like so amazing that it just suits this kind of game. Beats me, let's have a look. Let's go with the obvious. The animation looks terrible. Really, really terrible. Look at it. Look at him moving. Look at him running. It's even better. Jeez, what were they? 2000? This is so dated. So bad. I'm trying to find something positive here, I guess, is that this opening scene on top of the train looks passable. It's all 3D, it's okay. Then you get to the point where it's pre-rendered backgrounds. Now, I'm playing it on a PlayStation 3 here, so it's not that far off what it should look like, right? Because I'm sure it looks so much better on an old analog or a CRT TV, but it looks awful. Bloody awful. There's a lot of detail in the backdrops, but I mean, if you go and boot up like one of the old Resident Evils, their backgrounds are just way better than this. And they were years before this game. Though, I will give it credit for the sweeping camera. Sometimes you can run right to the screen and the camera sweeps instead of like another transition. Which, oh god, the transitions. They're slow. Clearly when you go through a certain door, I guess it's the end of a car or a train car or whatever bloody hell it is, instead of the Resident Evil door screen, which is just a loading screen anyway, you just get this horrible green text. So I'm probably going to either fast forward these or edit them. I don't know, I'll work it out as I go. But I mean, come on. It's not even a complicated looking game. What's all the loading? The blending of items into the environment's pretty decent, until you actually see a body on the ground. A shithouse. Unbelievably shithouse. I'm trying to remember, was this a good looking game when it came out? I highly doubt it. Why do I own this? How did I get a hold of this game? Mine and my brothers. Yeah, it's not very good looking, but I mean, if it had come out like first few years of the PlayStation, it's like, you know, when it came on the market, would have been cool. This sucks. It's terrible looking. The enemy character models, they look just freaking awful. Everything's so blocky. And why are there recorded cutscenes as well using the in-game models? They look so bad up close. I guess they didn't want to use the pre-rendered CG that the game had an opening of. Oh no. I'm not going to show you the opening CG because, jeez, if you thought this looked awful, you should see the plastic Ken dolls that were running around in that one. Just, whew, jeez. Yeah, okay, so it's an ugly game. Whatever, it is what it is. It's a povo, backdrops, awful character model running around, and obviously some areas are actual 3D, which I'm just assuming is the outside of the train and probably the only time you ever see true 3D here. Apart from the doors, they're in 3D. Yeah, okay, it's crap. It looks like crap. You happy? Far out. There's really not a lot to say here. There's the expected bad voice acting, because it's obviously some sort of budget title, I assume, even though it's 2 discs and must be multiple endings and whatever. I'm confused. The voice acting's awful, like it's Resident Evil quality, so was that on purpose? Is that what they're going for? Because it's bad. It's really, really bad. The sound effects are almost non-existent to some degree. There's some doors opening, the typical make a noise ding when you pick up something, and a generic gunshot noise. Good lord, there's no sound. That explains why the awful 30-second loop of music kept being stuck in my head the whole time through. Like, what the music was just, made me nauseous. It was just terrible. It was about 30 seconds to a minute long. It was just looping itself, I'm pretty sure. I blanked it out mostly though. Yeah, nothing else. I don't remember any other sounds in this game. What? Pick up items, menu sound effects, open door, gunfire, bad voice acting. Like 5 things? Can't be right. Maybe it is. Wow. Talk about forgettable. It's this game. I can't even remember already. Bad rating, bad sound. Yeah, let's move on. So by the year 2000, you'd think if someone's going to rip off the whole Resident Evil style game, there has to be a better control scheme. Well, actually, what was the Dreamcast game? Code Veronica, that still had tank controls. God, it took forever to get away from that, didn't it? Either way, tank controls. They were awful when Resident Evil came out. That was, what? I don't remember what year that was. 95, 96, 97, something like that. So this is years later, and this game's ripped it off, and they're bloody terrible. Not to mention, you just kept getting stuck on everything. Couldn't get in the doors because they're stuck on the door frame, I assume. Had the usual, like, slow turn. Actually, you didn't raise your gun, you just pushed square to fire, and the lock-on did sort of work well. But I couldn't work out if I could reload without having to go into the menu, so that was bloody tedious. And then you couldn't pick the gun and say reload, you had to combine it with the ammo clip. Like, come on, that's crap. I don't want to keep looking at the menu when the screen fades to black for a few seconds and then loads up. It's just, I know it seems like it's only a few seconds, but that shit should be instant. Ain't no one got time for that, okay? I just don't understand that when they used to do that in games. Why does the menu have to take so long? Yeah, anyway, the game would come up with a few prompts here and there. I mean, look at the beginning of the game when it was telling me to jump across to the different train car. I just fell down and then every button was flashing, so I just, mashed the button because you don't want to die or something. Just stupid. And it's not like the AI was smart either. They all just ran up to me and then fired, and you just crouched and shot them anyway, or just, well, you got the drop on them. The one enemy at a time anyway. That's probably to combat the controls. Can't have two enemies. Actually, there was a moment where there was two enemies, so they're too far away, so they never did much. So maybe they just designed a game that just controlled bad, and I don't know. They're really crappy controls. But it's exactly what Resident Evil was. It's nothing to write home about. It's not good. It's sluggish. You feel like you're fighting it the whole time anyway. Ugh, this is dragging on. Next. So here's where things get really interesting. I'll just go ahead and say it. I was actually really enjoying this game. I can't really explain why. Something about the setting, something about, I guess, the nostalgia of this type of game, aka Resident Evil, then strip out the horror element, and I guess it was just like this exploration thing with, well, the puzzles were pretty crap. It was basically find a card, hit a door. I didn't come across anything else, so I don't know. I gotta be honest, I was a little hooked with it for some reason. I'm not sure why. It didn't really tell me anything, but it had a linear approach to it that I felt like I was being funneled in the right way. And I can't put it into words. I kind of want to keep playing it. I think I will keep playing it. There was something about this that, this is weird, I can't even explain. I can't even put it into words. I just kind of want to keep going with this piece of crap. And yeah, I think this game was a piece of crap. But like a lovable piece of crap? Well, lovable might be pushing it, but I am intrigued. Intrigued will be the word I will use. It's not a good game based on its controls. It's not a good game based on its graphics. Like, it's an ugly looking thing. The sound was completely forgettable. In fact, every segment that I was in of the train was pretty much the same thing. Like, I don't know where else this game could go, but I kind of want to find out. So based on just this little opening part of this game, yeah, I'm sort of sold. I think I'm going to keep playing through it. Or, and this is probably the more realistic thing that's going to happen, I'm going to boot it up again, because after I've turned off the recording, I found a save room and I saved. Yeah, that's right, I saved. I'm probably going to boot it up again someday, or never again, but let's just say I do boot it up again, I'll probably play it for another 10 minutes and just go, this is a piece of junk, why am I playing this? I have way better games to do. But in the moment, okay, let's pretend that it's the year 2000 and I only own this system. I only have a PlayStation. Would I keep playing this game? Probably not. I'll probably just go back and play Metal Gear Solid or Siphon Filter or something like that. Still, God, I can't put it into words. I liked it. I liked it a lot, even though it was trash. Oh, I'm conflicted so badly. I'm bad-mouthing the game, but I'm also praising it for reasons I don't know and can't articulate. Am I having a stroke? Is that what this is? This is not for everybody. I'm only a certain type of crazy person that would want to play this kind of game. Maybe if you're a Resident Evil fan, you might enjoy it. Maybe you like the idea of Resident Evil but didn't like the whole horror zombies thing. This might be your game. This might be your jam. Maybe just a glutton for punishment, or you're just a really big stupid head. Like me. I'm gonna go back and play this game now. Damn, I'm completely confused about this, but A+ for the level of confusion I've received. Good job, game.
Ambassador, are you all right?
I think so.